Hey, I want to thank our partners for coming and having a chance to share some of their thoughts as well on cloud computing. With all four of the organizations, NIIT, Cognizant, CDC, and IISC, we have a long relationship, and they have to stop and say, is the cloud the right direction? And what about Microsoft? So we're very pleased for their support and their presence here today. I'm also pleased for the chance to be here in India. I'm not sure I've ever been someplace that actually the temperature was 2 times what it was my home city when I left. Seattle is a cold place, and I think I picked one of the hottest times ever to be in Delhi, but I'm very excited to have the chance to be here. Talk a little bit about the cloud, how I think about the cloud, how we are approaching it, and then go from there. I will say one of the interesting things that we run into is many people don't know what the cloud is, and yet everybody in our industry buzzes about the cloud. You know, we talk about Windows 7. People get it. It's a concrete product. You go buy it. We've had a lot of enthusiasm. Great. We show the innovations we're working on in Bing, or we can talk about the change in the platform that we make in Windows Server and SQL Server. We're launching our Office 2010 release. We've got new phone software coming the end of this year. We've got some fantastic things coming with Xbox to change the landscape for TV and entertainment. The cloud. The cloud actually refers to the underlying changes in paradigm that are going on today in the way the IT industry as a whole does its work. In our own case, you could say, what are our cloud products? They're all in the cloud. There is an implication for Windows, for Office, for Bing, for Windows Server, for SQL Server, for Windows phones, everyone, for Internet Explorer. Everything we do actually has to morph based upon the changes that we are seeing and the changes that we are driving from the cloud. So it relates in some senses to the fusion between the Internet and the enterprise data center, the fusion between the PC and the phone and the browser, the changing interface between what goes on out there and on the devices that I own. And it changes in some senses then the way the software industry, the hardware industry, what we create and how we create it. So we have a lot of products that people call cloud products. I noticed that I was curious what they put up on the little banner behind me. Windows Azure certainly is a product that wouldn't exist, couldn't exist, except in the cloud. Exchange Online and SharePoint Online live in the cloud. But the cloud is a phenomenon that affects everything we do. And in fact, our competitors and our partners, everybody in our industry races to support this new computing paradigm. Really through the lens of these 5 dimensions. First of all, this new computing paradigm called the cloud will create new commercial opportunities. It creates the opportunity for software developers to build and get applications deployed and managed with higher agility and lower cost than ever before. If you're a developer, a software company here in Delhi, and you want to write an application and sell it and service it and operate it globally, that becomes easy in the era of the cloud. The work building a partner channel, and a service channel, and a sales channel, some of that's still there, but a lot of it evaporates. The cloud creates opportunities. By the way, the cloud also creates responsibilities. Now, we see these as both human responsibilities, corporate responsibilities, but also technology responsibilities. Security, privacy, reliability. These are characteristics that people will expect from the cloud infrastructure. And certainly, there's not a day now when you can't pick up the newspaper and read about some major issue in those areas. And that's going to require a set of technology development. The cloud will change the way end users think about what they expect from applications. The cloud helps connect people to people and people to information in new ways. So I like to say the cloud learns and helps you learn. The cloud actually is a platform that includes data. Normally when we think about platforms for building these applications, we think about code, writing this software programs. But in fact, the whole set of data about the world and the data about the user, at least the data that the user wants to make available with their privacy in mind, all of the world's data becomes part of the fabric that people use to create applications, so that applications can get smarter based upon the data about what's going on in the world and what's going on with the user. Search engines show this phenomenon, but they're really just the start. Applications will change in the cloud because we morph the way we connect people to people, not just people to information. It's not just people to this data platform. We talked today about social networking. We're going to show some phenomenal new things in our Xbox Live service, which connects people in kind of leisure time activities around the internet. We'll be showing some of those over the next few weeks. But in everything we do, people will assume that collaboration is a fundamental part of every application. Even if all you're trying to do is record a transaction with a customer in an ERP system, the ability to pop out and in an ad hoc way talk to the customer, ask them if they had a problem, record their customer experience as part of the record, that's going to change. Again, with the right privacy, the right security. The cloud changes the devices that we use. Some people think the cloud means everything goes into the internet and we don't have any intelligence in our phones, in our PCs, in our TVs. I think that's just wrong. We're busy integrating the best of the PC, the phone, and the TV with the best of the browser and the internet. You can see that in some of the work we've previewed, for example, in Internet Explorer 9, which fuses those things together. And everything we envision says smart devices talking to a smart back end. The cloud also changes what we think of as servers today, physical hardware servers as well as the software themselves. You won't buy a machine in the future. You'll either subscribe to a service or somebody will buy a container. Could be as big as a shipping container, could look more like a refrigerator. But it'll have computing and storage and networking all integrated in together. Those businesses will fuse, and the software that you use to write programs for those things will change. You won't write and manage applications the same way, and that's why we're evolving the way you write programs with our Windows Azure and SQL Azure products. So the hardware and software platform, from the front end to the back end, the notion of data and socialization and communications as core services, all of those things change, in addition to the fact that, of course, things come from the internet and they might get paid for on a different business model and the like. So we're very excited about the cloud. Everything we're doing is oriented to the cloud. Every one of our businesses is embracing the cloud. And the chance to have some partners here in India who are working with us on the leading edge of some of these phenomena with Exchange Online, SharePoint Online, Windows Azure, and SQL Azure